Okay, and we're back. Took a little break there, and we're going to go ahead and pick up where we left off with the link to the Past Randomizer. I checked my upload on the first one, and it seems like the audio is working pretty well on there, so we're going to go ahead with this. Try and wrap this up. I still need 3 more crystals, and then a fight with a climb up Ganon's tower, and then the Ganon fight itself. I am a little scared about that because I still haven't found silver arrows or a better mail, but we're just going to try and power through this as best we can. So, without further ado, let's lock and load. If my controller was on. Hey, there we go. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start off by heading down to the Ice Palace. Actually, sorry, I think we're going to do the Swamp Palace first. It is right down here. We already saw the entrance twice. I went in there with the without the flippers. Oops, need to go to the Dark World first. That would be helpful. So there is a nice, convenient little portal right here, south of Link's house, with the hammer and level 1 gloves we can access. We were already here once before, as I mentioned. We went to the Hype Cave that is a couple screens up and right from where I am right now, and we popped in here to check that hint tile. So normally that hint tile in the regular game says something to the effect of how things that happen in the light world can affect things in the dark world. It's going to mirror that block out of there. And what it's telling you is that if you go back to the light world and open that floodgate and change the water levels, that actually affects what happens in the dark world. So, instead of those ponds being full, those are now drained, and this channel here is now full. And so we can swim over here and grab this little ladder. So I am going to try and do this as go mode, even though I'm a little nervous about the fact that I don't have silver arrows. I really don't like doing the Ganon fight without it. But what that means is that we can basically speed run things here. We can just run as quickly as possible. We're not going to worry about getting all the treasure chests and all the items. We'll grab a few along the way, and hopefully we'll find some useful items. But I'm not going out of my way to get some of the optional treasure chests. I've already skipped one here. I have a feeling I'm going to that one over there on the far right of the screen. I have a feeling I'm going to regret that, but that's almost always something useful. But that's Gambler's Fallacy. Get out of my way. So one thing I wanted to bring up again, for those just tuning in, or who aren't as familiar with this is, you know, a version of the old classic. Oh, I guess I should check that chest to see if it's the big key. Anyway, this is a version of the old Super NES Classic that I love. It's one of my favorite games of all time. And the items have all been randomized. Every single treasure chest in this game is completely random. I have no idea what I'm going to find where. And so figuring out that logic of where to go next always just it just adds an extra level of excitement to a game that was that's always been one of my favorites. Makes it extra challenging. Like, you can get the level 4 sword right off the bat. I saw a playthrough earlier where the 4th item was right off the or the 4th level sword was right off the get-go, which certainly makes killing bosses and enemies easier, but it doesn't actually tell you where to go next. So yeah, that's helpful, but that doesn't really give you any idea of what palaces you can do. It doesn't open up any extra options. So yes, seeing that's great and all, it's good news. you're not going to get any progression out of that. You're not going to figure out, okay, I now have the bow and the lamp, so I can go do the Eastern Palace. I now have the book and the glove. That means I can do the Desert Palace. That was worth my while. Said I wasn't going to go out of my way for anything, and I did end up going for those. Probably didn't need to. I can't remember if this dungeon requires the big key. Oh, never mind. Doesn't matter. I was just about to say I can't remember if you actually have to have the big key in order to get to the final boss room here. I don't think you do in this dungeon, but I got it anyway, so doesn't really matter. Ah, I always get hit by that guy. Nope, you do not need it. So, here we are. This is the dungeon where you are supposed to find the hook shot, and it is in fact required to kill the boss. As you pull all of these little puffs off of him. The boss's name is Argus. I don't know how you'd ever find that out in the course of the regular game. There we go. So with the Tempered Sword, which you should not have by now... Ooh, hey, blue mail. That makes me happy. It's one of those things that I was really missing. Hoping I would find along the way. But yeah, you should not have the either the Fire Rod or the Tempered Sword by this point. So that makes that boss a lot easier to kill quickly. Way less scary. But that was a quick dungeon. We were in and out of there, and I'm only at the 7-minute mark on this video. And I was talking for the first minute or so of that, so that's pretty solid. I'm happy with that. And we're just going to go right over... Oh, I don't know why I'm bothering. You know, there were a couple other items that after I got the flippers, I never bothered to check. So let's go ahead and do that. There is one right here that once you get to the Dark World, you can mirror over. And it's just money. I'm not even going to bother picking it up. There's another item up here I will grab real quick, because this is a nice and simple one. If I don't get stuck on the walls like that. The swimming mechanic in this game is not exactly great. It's one of the reasons why a lot of people hate that palace that I just went to, the Swamp Palace. There is a lot of swimming involved. Just the blue boomerang. A lot of the speedrunners like that boomerang better than the upgraded version that I already have. It causes a little less lag in the game, and it's generally all you need. But I still prefer the faster one. I think it's a bit safer to go with that one. If I ever get to the... completely stuck there. That was weird. Okay. This is the entrance to the Ice Palace. Shield requires the boots. Did I know that already? No, because I haven't found a second shield. The first one I found was way before I had the boots, isn't the Zelda rescue part. Can technically skip that guy and walk right by him, but I'll go ahead and do that. This is a chest that I could easily skip. But hey, Ice Rod. Oh! It's a good thing I didn't, because I thought I was ready to go in go mode, but that is in fact required to beat the boss of the last dungeon that I have after this. So, wow. That would have been excruciatingly frustrating if I had gotten that far and then realized, oh wait, I'm not ready to to go here. So, okay. Oh, that was quite the fortunate find. Again, the only things I'm really looking for here are the silver arrows in particular. Let's see what this hint is. The green ones are they're troll. They're just jokes. And most of them are in fact references to the original Zelda. If I can make it through this room. This is one of those neat little tricks. Oh, of course I hit it the wrong way. Again, I like the red boomerang. It's faster. It can reach that far. So you're supposed to have the orange blocks down so that you can scoot past this spot right here. I'm going to try this once or twice. There is a nice little way here where, right there, just like that. You can use a bomb jump to skip right past that. Ah! And then screw it up by stepping on that switch twice. Leaving the red ones, red and orange, whatever, switch up actually makes an area over here considerably faster. You can get through this next part. I'm just going to take that hit, go up here. Unique items in Hookshot Cave. Well, I already did the Hookshot Cave, so once again, I kind of went the wrong way if I was doing this go mode. Oh well. I guess we'll keep going. I'm not opposed to this. Go this way. Not what I wanted. Yeah, this is another cave or another dungeon where you do not actually need the big key to get through it. But since I went the way I did, we're just going to keep going, grab a couple extra chests, hope that I find a better sword, better mail, the silver arrow, something like that. I said silver arrows, not regular arrows. But it's a quick check. It's only going to cost me a minute or two. And hopefully I find something fun and shiny. So this is kind of my fault because I am not an expert at some of the later dungeons here. So I should have just gone this way the first time. Sliding on the ice here is very difficult. On some well-placed sword swings and dashes can help get you through it. I'm going to do a nice little trick here. I did find the big key, and the big chest is right here, so we're going to go ahead and... Ah! There we go. Just a key. Worthless. Okay, so here's where I wanted to be. And this spot right here with the blue switch down means that we can just go right here. And we're done. This room will take us to the boss. We could have skipped all of that, the hookshot and those extra treasure chest checks, because those were not in fact required. This boss, you have to have either the Bombos fire spell or the fire rod to break through the ice. And this boss can be very scary. It hurts a lot when it hits you. Trying to keep them trapped in that corner is... Oh, could have just done that. Again, Fire Rod, half magic. Very, very useful. Trying to keep them trapped in the corner there. I at least got a couple of good hits off on that before they escaped. And that definitely helped. It was not my smoothest fight ever, but it was pretty good. It was solid. Okay. Now, we have every crystal except for one, and that is the one up in Turtle Rock on Death Mountain. And I do like to save that one for last, because that is right by where you need to be for Ganon's Tower. I could have just used the flute, would have been faster. Oh well. There's one last thing that I want to check, actually two things that I want to check. One very obvious place that I never went to when I first got access to the Dark World. So I'm going to be able to get 3 items here on the way. And I think it's worth a little detour. Again, I should just say, you know what, good enough. I mean, I'm effectively in go mode here, and I should just ignore this and move on. But the completionist in me says, I gotta check it. My cats are once again going insane, so I apologize if there's some background noise. It sounds like my house is collapsing. Yeah, this feels like a waste. This is a minute out of my run here that I could have shaved off by just ignoring this. I have everything that I technically need, but I'm still just really wanting to find those silver arrows and find the gold sword and the red mail. Those are things that I would love to have. If I was better at this, I wouldn't need any of them. But, hey. Blast that open. We'll go over here and check. That's just arrows. I don't need that one for sure. That was a complete and utter waste of my time. Okay. There are the cats stampeding through my house again. Okay. So we're back up to Death Mountain. Are you kidding? I did that again? And all of the sky cabbage is hitting me. Okay. We're through the scariest part of that. So we're going to go on up here. We're going to make our way through up to the top of Death Mountain to Turtle Rock that we unlocked earlier with the Bombos spell. And I'm going to try and get through that as quickly as I can and stop this instinct to check every last thing. If I get the big key, if I get enough small keys to get through it, etc., I'm just going to run. Not going to stop and grab rupees that I'm never even going to spend. I am, however, going to grab this. Try to grab this fairy here. Because I like having full health for these guys. Since they tend to be a pain and hit me while I'm trying to grab that boulder or block my path, we're just going to go ahead and skip that. So, mentioned earlier how useful the cane of Samaria is here, the red cane. It can also create these fancy little lift platforms, which allow you to get through this part of Turtle Rock. Hey, big key right off the bat. Oops, and I missed. I do still need a small key before I can get to the next room, so I am going to have to go out of my way over here and do this fun little room. So this room, there's supposed to be a very specific way that you go about it. Ah. But getting those and then falling off to go back to the door is actually faster, because if those lamps go out, still don't have the timing down for that. There's my small key. There's another small key. That's actually great news. We're going to mirror back to the entrance. Once again, handy little use for the mirror. That way I don't have to fight my way through those spikes. And it's probably slightly faster, because where I need to go is up here. Ignore that. Hate those guys. That drops a key as well. There is a chest in this room. I hate those things, so I'm just going to nope right out of there. I have the big key. So really, at this point, all I need to do is find enough small keys to get through here. Remember how I mentioned I like having the powder? Yeah, it's really nice to have here. Oops. So then you have less of those guys bouncing around. You come back. I hate these things. I really do. Hi, Zan. Bye, Zan. My cat coming to pay a visit, chattering at me and then running out the door. Actually, I'm going to go back the way I came, because that wasn't anything useful. I should have just grabbed the key and run, now that I think about it. Again, I'm not used to being in this, sort of go mode where you can just blaze through things. So I am still kind of checking a few more things than I technically should if I was going for a pure speed run. And also if I was, better at this. Whoops. Better at this game. Come on. Alright, considering how much damage those guys did, that's actually worth it. Come through. Nope, not the place I needed. There is... God, again, if I was in go mode, I would just skip this, but there's a chest here that you can get, and I just hate to walk past it because it would be such a huge pain to ever get back here. Be worth it. Ugh, not really. These are the kind of completionist instincts that I've got to get away from. I really didn't need to go back for that. It really didn't help me any. Just realized there was a faster way. I could have just skipped that entire ledge and going through a couple extra rooms for that. Oops. Ugh. Once again, I didn't need that. I had the key already. Oh well. Could have been the other key I need for later, which could have saved me more time. Alright, this room can be a huge pain. One of the other abilities of the hook shot that I neglected to mention earlier is that while it's extended, you're actually invulnerable. So it is a good way to get past those without taking any damage. Now, because I skipped the chest and because I forgot to just get out of there while I still could. Ow. I now have to deal with these. And since I don't have the really good shield, I am now getting my ass handed to me. Okay, that's a little scary. Got the key I needed. Can unlock this. There are a couple of anti-fairies in this room that I can powder. I don't have any magic. No, I can't. Oh wait, I wanted that. So that is magic. Come on, I don't have much. Yep, I knew that was going to happen. I missed. Fortunately, I have a fairy, so it does bring me back. But that was just embarrassing. And I'm out of magic again. So, okay. Oh, God. Now, the smart thing to do here would just be to keep moving. But if I can find a little bit... No? Okay. Again, this is kind of embarrassing, but I think it's worth it in the long run. I didn't want to... I wanted to catch that. I'm going to go back. I'm going to try and powder both of these fairies. Oh my god, really? And, again, just catch it. Oh, that was terrible. Hi, Dow. That was absolutely terrible. That was not only a lot of time lost there, but I wasted both a fairy and a blue potion out of that. That was embarrassing. Alright, we're gonna get ready. This is gonna be a pretty quick fight, as long as I don't screw it up. What? Like that, you know, if I'm missing. Yep, screwed that up. I was supposed to have switched to my menu before I got the final hit on that. Ow. Okay, through the scariest part. I'm going to blame that one on the kitten that's currently biting at me. Now we just need one more hit, please. I don't have another fairy. Okay, thank God. Oh. Not useful. Okay, that is our 7th crystal. We are on to Ganon's Tower, and we are unfortunately at about the 2-hour mark right now and still have a good probably 15 minutes to go, depending on how good the tower is. So, Ganon's Tower is huge. It's divided into a very large basement level and a... you know what? Because I'm nervous here. There we go. It's divided into a very large basement level, which you have to clear first and find the big key. once you find the big key, you can then get to the top levels, and I believe there are 8, and then fight Aghanim at the top of the tower. Now, since this is randomizer, the key could be in the very first chest, or could be in the 22nd chest. There are, in fact, 22 chests in the lower levels, and any one of them could be the key. Once you have it, you can skip the rest and go straight to the top. Again, that's go mode. So one of the games that they like to play with the randomizer is, what number is it going to be? Guess a number from 1 to 22. I'm going to say like 15 because I'm just that unlucky. Probably going to be the 15th place I check. That's my guess. There's 1 and 2. No go. There's more off to the right, but I don't like going that way, so we're going to mirror back to the entrance and take the left stairs. There's a single regular arrow, so we're going to skip that. That's 3. Bonk myself over that cliff. 4. Hey, there's the silver arrows. That makes me happy. 4, 5, 6, 7. So lots of small keys. That's good to have. So we can go in here. There's another chest here. I don't remember the right way to do this, so I'll just do that. Not what I was hoping for. Alright, I need to do that. Huh. Now I see why that... Okay. If you time this just right... Yep, there we go. Grab another key. That's why I feel like the blue boomerang. Yeah, it is often referred to as the best boomerang, even though technically the red one is supposed to be the upgrade. Lost track now. 8. That's 9. There are 4 over here. I'll check this room, and I really hope it's over here. $10, $11, $12, $13. This is not looking good. I have to go through all these little things, which is just taking more time. Yeah, it's great when it's like the first or second one that you check and you're just like, nope, I'm done, I'm out of here. And at least I can say I did get the silver arrows out of the deal, so that's at least happy news. There's a neat little trick here. There's this whole invisible maze thing that you can light up with a torch if you come from the right direction, or with the ether spell to temporarily see where you need to be. There we go, finally got my other fairy. Talking a little better about things, and there we go, my cat stampeding again. That's 14. So we're going to do a repeat of the bosses from the first 3 dungeons in the Light World. But this time, we have silver arrows. That's a little bit easier, despite the ice. It's already at 14, 15, nope, I was wrong. 16, hey, there's the red mail. 17, I still haven't found it. Okay, well, that means it's back on the right, and I should have stayed going this way while I was at it. Missed with that. Okay, fine. There. So this room, if you wait through the whole thing, it does a chest does appear there. That is a really long time to wait. So we're going to hope that's not it. Because if it is, that's going to be 22. That would be just my luck. However, if I can make it through here... Oh, just barely. At the buzzer. Ugh, missed. Missed again. So we'll just have to wait. Grab those. Grab these 4 chests. Hey, there it is. But we're going to go ahead and get these while we're here. One last thing to grab. Okay, we have the big key now. I lost count there, but I think that was roughly 19. Something like that. There's only the 2 left in that room, plus the tile room, so yeah, that would have been right about 19. Alright, so we're going to do that. We're going to go ahead and just take the damage walking across the spikes to get through here quickly. These guys, once again, you need... Ugh. I did that just absolutely terribly. So this is part of the gauntlet. You basically have to rush through a bunch of increasingly difficult rooms. I did that wrong. And I am just eating damage for breakfast. Could stop and grab a couple of fairies across the hall there, but that would just slow me down. We're gonna try and do this without. I am. Yep. I'm very happy that I have the red mail now, because I'm taking so much damage in here. Oh, come on. Just hit him. Down to 2 hearts. This is a little scary. Down to 1 heart. Okay. How many fairies do we have again? 2. Okay, we're gonna keep moving and hope I don't die here, which is actually not a... Yeah, I was gonna say, not a good gamble. I tend to die in that room a lot. Or at least take a lot of damage in that room anyway. It's fine. We'll take a fairy. We'll come back. We'll get this guy. Ice is annoying. And we will go ahead and just take that fairy. Get some of our health back. And we have the second boss of the light world, the land mollas, that we faced once before, and I managed to burn down with my fire rod pretty quickly. Now, I'm going to try it with the silver arrows, although my timing sucks. Really? There, got that one. So, just a bit early. Not nearly as clean as I did with the fire rod the first time around. Are you kidding? He went the other way? There. Jeez. That was a lot of wasted arrows. Get a little magic. Another heart back and some arrows. Replenish what I just wasted. Alright. Also, remember what I was saying about the cane being super useful? Screwed it up. really? It's the first time I screwed that up in a long time. If you place it just right, you can kill all 3 of those guys in one quick hit before they even get a shot off. And, of course, I completely flubbed the timing. That's indicative of how this day is going. I only got 2 out of 3 I could have gotten with that. Dash right through all those guys. The way my day's been going, this is going to end very poorly. But we need to light 4 lamps. Something we see a lot in the Zelda games. Hey. Okay, made it through without completely screwing that up. Grab a heart here. Full magic here. Once again, we need to light 4 more lamps. We can do so quickly, like so. We switch to the hookshot. We pop both of these guys. Now, there's no longer anything I need from those 2 chests. I have the red mail, I have the silver... Oh, I missed the conveyor belt. The only possible thing I could still find, really, would be the gold sword. And I'm just not going to bank on that right now. I'm happy enough. Ah! Shovel. Okay. Oh, come on. Yeah, I'm happy enough with the red sword rather than trying to go for the gold sword, otherwise known as the butter sword. This is one of the bosses that I skipped earlier. Oh my god. And as I mentioned before, the little mini Moldorms that I was fighting a lot are called Trolldorms because they're really good at trolling. They can be a real pain in the ass. This one is no exception. He can knock you off the ledge, and he gets faster and angrier. Oh, come on. There. So that was annoying. What was I saying about there literally being no items that could help me? Why did I... Again, habit. This room can be excruciatingly annoying as well. So why don't I just stun all of those guys and move on with my life? Okay. We're good here. This is the final, well, penultimate fight here. This is the wizard known as Aghanim, which was the optional boss I mentioned. 0 for 3. Early in the game. 1 out of 3. Zero out of 3. 2. I need to hit him 6 times. If you do it really well, you can just bat all of his clones back at him as well. I am only at 4 hits so far out of, what, 5 or 6 rotations? 1 more, and we can be done with this. There we go. I would have gotten 2 or 3 out of that one, finally, when it didn't matter. Because, of course. And here we are, on to the final fight with Ganon. I have at least 2 fairies and 1 blue potion. What the? Draw me hero. Initial Winky Face. Greatest. So I don't know how I managed to walk through him there. Usually you can get 1 good quick swing. Oop. That wasn't very smart. As soon as the little fire starts, that's good. Back away quickly. Sneak in 1 more hit. Oh, come on. So I am probably going to die here very shortly. Death by fire bat or Ganon hugs, one or the other. Ooh, okay, we're on to phase 3 now. Now he starts breaking the floor and teleporting around a lot, which is really annoying. Yeah, Ganon hugs are the worst hugs. There's a very good likelihood that I will die here and have to use one of the fairies. I do have a potion left, but the potion I have refills both magic and health, and I would rather save that magic just in case I need it for the last part here. Did you find the arrows in my tower? Why, yes. Yes, I did. Yeah. Death by fire bat. So I'm going to miss the torch glitch here. He's going to put out the lights. Yeah. And if you are made up for it there with the double. If you are lucky enough to if you get the timing just right, light the first torch. Ugh. Oh boy, this is bad. You light the first torch before the second one goes out, and that like second or so before that happens, you can actually keep the second one permanently lit. Kind of made up for it there by getting the double hit, which is another neat trick. If you light the second torch while he's in the middle of the room, he's extra vulnerable. You can get 2 or even 3 hits of the silver arrows off. But it only takes 4 to kill him. And so that is game. And fish will wake soon. Okay. I don't know what that was a reference to. So now we roll credits, and yes, some of this has even been randomized. Because that normally says Return of the King there, that can also say the 2 Towers or Fellowship of the Ring, respectively. Because they like to be funny like that. This one will also sometimes say read a book. They like to mess around. So our final time there is going to be just a little over 2 hours. I think it's about 2:15. Saltpeter. Again, this is supposed to say Sahasrara, and as I mentioned in the first video, that's kind of a running joke that nobody can ever pronounce his name properly, let alone spell it. So they randomize the spelling, and it's just some random word that starts with S. Yeah, not a bad run, not great. There were a lot of optional things that I should have skipped there. In retrospect, I shouldn't have fought blind that first boss that I did because I knew it was a pendant, and there was a very low chance that he was going to drop anything useful. I should not have gone for the red bomb and the pyramid stuff there. I should have obviously stayed right instead of going back to the left side of the Ganon's tower. But that's just random chance. There's no... I don't feel bad about that. Yeah, life lessons for sale. As mentioned, paying 500 rupees and getting back 50 is what they like to refer to as a life lesson. Sometimes you don't get the value for what you buy. So, anyway, all in all, it was a good run. There were a couple of things I could have skipped. Some of those extra chests in the Swamp Palace. I'm glad I didn't skip that extra chest in the Ice Palace, because that's when I got the Ice Rod that I did in fact need. I forgot that was an item I was still missing, and is still... this is the Flute Boy, and apparently if I had gone back to dig up that spot in the upper left corner of a screen right now, I would have only gotten cash for it. And this is Venus, the Queen of Fairies, so of course they play on that song quite a bit. Aww. Sometimes this says a Dwarven Breadsmiths because that thing that they're hammering looks an awful lot like a piece of French bread or something like that. The bug-catching kid is the life-giving kid now. Anyway, yeah, so there were a lot of things that I could have done better with this seed. I could have followed the logic a little better, and I could have gone for more straight for crystal dungeons and skipped the pendant dungeons entirely. I didn't need to spend as much time as I did in either the Skull Woods, where I died to Mothula up there, or in Thieves Town, where I killed Blind but didn't get anything for it. He gave me what, like a 5 rupee? Hooray! That was worth my time. So yeah, there were a lot of things like that I could have probably safely skipped. Apparently there were bombs in the Master Sword pedestal. Yeah, it wasn't my favorite seed that I've run. It wasn't terrible. I definitely played pretty poorly in this one. There are a lot of things like that toward the end there in the Gauntlet run when I missed with both of the Cane of Samaria multi-kills, when you should be able to get all 3 of those Wizrobes in one shot, and 3 out of the 4 in the next room, and I flubbed both of those. So yeah, just a lot of places where I choked and took damage where I didn't need to, or fell where I shouldn't have, or, just a lot of mistakes as far as gameplay. I am not an expert. I am nowhere near the level of the speedrunners that do this as part of like the tournaments and whatnot. There are entire channels devoted to people doing these random runs and doing races of these, and they hold tournaments where they'll get a whole bunch of people doing a run like this, and you'll get commentators, and they're fun to watch because they're joking about all the crazy things that they find, and once they hit that go mode, it's just green light, boss rush. You skip everything possible and just go for the bosses, and ignore everything else. And I did not do that very well. There were several points in Turtle Rock I could have skipped. There were several points before that, like going to check the pyramid, where I got nothing to show for it. That the better players, the guys that do this more, in that competitive sense, they've got those instincts down, and I just don't. I would say my average run of this is about 2 hours and 15 minutes at this point, so this is probably right about that. We'll see at the end here. It'll give us the final stats. My best time was the second of the races that I did with Rafe Gall last week, and I did an hour 58 or an hour 57, something like that. And that's the video that I uploaded, which if you haven't already, don't bother watching. It's the audio was so bad, the game was louder than me, and I was very muffled on top of it, so you can't make out anything, and it's terrible. I don't know why it turned out that way, because my test recording that I did before that was just fine. But whatever. It happens. I'm still new to this. I've never really recorded many games before. So yeah, that was my best run ever at just under 2 hours. Most of my runs end up in the, like, I don't know, 208, 220, 228. Something, I was writing them down for a while. I was kind of keeping track, but I've stopped doing that. So yeah, somewhere in the 210 to 220 range is pretty much my average. And here we go, the important stuff. These are the stats. So my first sword, I got 15 minutes into the game. The boots, I got an hour into the game. The flute, I got 45 minutes in the game, which was great to be able to move around that fast. And the mirror, very early at 13 minutes. I didn't kill any of the bosses without a sword, which can be done. Killed one with the Fisher-Price sword. 4 with the Master Sword, 5 with the Tempered, and I never did end up getting the gold sword. Gannon's Tower big key was 18, technically 19, because I didn't actually hit the tower that the single arrow was on. 20 bonks, 6 saving quits, 1 death, with 3 fairy revivals. Spent a total of 6 minutes in the menu messing around. That's kind of crazy. So 170 out of 216 total locations checked, and 217.45 for my final time there. Not bad, not great. It definitely, if I had played better, if I had executed better, I would have gotten through that with a lot less headaches, and and probably shaved a good 10-15 minutes off of that by skipping some of the optional things and not going for that blue pendant you can see down there at the bottom from blind, and not going after the green pendant from Mothula where I did get that one death. There's a lot of things I could have skipped and I could have done better, but I tried to follow the logic. The game gave me the fire rod very early, so I went, oh, I can get to Mothula. Maybe I should go up there and do that. And that just didn't end up panning out there. So, but all said and done, it was fun. Happy to have recorded this. For anyone who stuck around this long to watch this and listen to me babble for the better part of 2.5 hours now, thank you. I appreciate that. And if you want some more runs of this, go check out my friend Rafe Gall's channel. I should have the link in the description here. And or go check out some of the pros and some of the speed runs. You can just Google the link to the Past Randomizer, and another fun channel to watch is one of the big pros, one of the best in the game is Andy Lasso, and he is fantastic. Like, he can do just crazy hard mode things, and it's insane. It's a whole nother level of this game, and I'm nowhere near that. So I don't expect to be in any of those tournaments anytime soon. I'm just doing this for fun. Again, it's a chance to go back and revisit one of my old favorites with a new twist, some new challenges, and it's been a lot of fun. I've been doing this quite a bit for the last couple of months here, and really enjoying it. And again, thanks for sharing that with me. Thanks for taking the time to watch through this, and hope you enjoyed it.